and welcome to Yoshi 1 Kenobi's party with the Bears of Littjara. In this deck, we are playing a banned party deck with some of the good old payoffs for parties, namely the Squad Commander, which boosts your field, allows you to attack with indestructible creatures that have an attack boost. Archpriest of Iona that gets attack boost whenever you have party members, also gets +1/+1 and flying to one of the creatures. The Trapfinder, which allows you to draw cards, and Linvala, which is a wizard, also can disable an opponent creature until the next turn, and you can sacrifice it for hexproof or indestructible for all your creatures. So we're playing all the party goodness from Zendikar. But what got added in Kaldheim? The shapeshifters, namely the Masked Vandal and the Bears of Littjara. And the Bears of Littjara is this very powerful enchantment, so it's saga. First you get a 2/2, that's kind of bad, but then again, History of Benalia was pretty strong. Okay, it's not History of Benalia, but still, it creates a shapeshifter, so a party member that fills in any role, then it turns it into a 4/4. And then the third chapter basically acts as a removal spell. So that 4/4 bear is going to deal 4 damage to any creature or planeswalker in opponent control. So it'll also transform Masked Vandals into 4/4s if we can go turn 1 Archpriest, turn 2 Vandal, turn 3 Bears, and then turn 4 Squad Commander. We can have basically a 4/4, a 4/4, a 4/4, a 3/3, 4 1/1s, and basically wreak mayhem on our opponent's board. So what else do we play? Well, we have Jaspera Sentinel, which is another little common addition from Kaldheim, which is a rogue that also acts as a mana dork. And we have Concerted Defense. Actually, that was there before. It's basically a 1 mana negate for this deck. Allows us to stop these pesky Extinction Events or Shadow's Verdict, which would wreck our deck otherwise. And that's what we do. We are playing party now with a full party and nice gap fillers with Masked Vandals and Bears of Littjara. Now let's see this deck in action and how crazy we can do when we're partying with the Bears of Littjara. With some games in action now. We're playing Bears of Littjara party on MTG Arena Standard against George A.O.K. You'll keep this, because you have a turn 1, turn 2 play, and the opponent goes first. We are lacking a blue source, though. I would have liked to have all the colors, especially for a Concerted Defense. Also known as Spell Pierced for parties. Opponent is thinking, making sure their hand is A-OK. Opponent's playing mono red. Huh, there's our blue source. I like seeing that. Well, Usher of the Fallen. Robber of the Rich. We all played a trade game. Opponents hit a land. We have 2 plays here. We can Trapfinder or Aspirant. Aspirant demands an answer a bit more, so I'll go with this. Though maybe I should have waited and played the Aspirant with Concerted Defense backup for Bone Crusher Giant. Or Shock. Opponent gets Bears of Littjara, which unfortunately can use. You can go Archpriest, Trapfinder, or Bears. Or Linvala. Linvala can potentially hold the robber at bay, so I'll try that. Land Emery Cleave is a threatening possibility, though. So when an opponent gets into Embercleave mana, that's when things get sketchy. Hardcasting Bone Crusher Giant, that's the type of move we want to see. Second copy of Linvala, not what we're looking for. But we'll get to Trapfinder Archpriest. And pass the turn back. Castle Emberit. Oh! Torbrand. That hurts like a truck. A tour truck. In with a Fireblade Charger. That's a very odd attack. That's fine. You do not seem to realize that I will have a full party. And that thing says, at the beginning of combat on your turn, choose start non-permanent opponent controls until your next turn. It can't attack or block. Alright. I think it's Robber. Archpriest can give flying to something. I can give flying to myself and swing for 10. Then the opponent counter swings. We block Bone Crusher. Take 3, 7. Yeah, I think that's what we go for. Then we do it all again. Also, we draw 3 off of that. Hopefully, getting a blue source for concerted defense. And pass the turn back. Concerted defense should block Embercleave. You do. Oh yeah, Robert can't attack because of Linvala. So that would be 6 plus 4, 10 plus 3, 13. That is lethal, so we have to block. For an Embercleaves, and we counter. And that's game. And how do we end this wonderful game? Well, there's nothing better than bears to complete a party. Also, we did have the natural warrior. Next to combat, you can't block. You're flying, and you cannot be blocked for an exact 10 damage to the face. And draw 3 cards. And that's how you beat Mono Red using Bears of Littjara. Party! We are playing Bears of Littjara Party on MTG Arena Standard against that George. Alright, George. Let's see what you've got. We've got awkwardness. I'll keep the awkwardness on the draw. Do have a pair of shapeshifters. So that does help with our party tribe. Opponent has a puppy. Usher of the Fallen. Helps us with our party tribe and with the aggro plan. We're also missing blue for Linvala. Daxos, blessed by the sun. Attack with the puppy. We will trade. Instant trade. Because we get to exile that. With a Masked Vandal! Nobody expects it. Surprise Mono White. I have a 1/3 for 2 that exiles target creature. Some conditions may apply. See details inside the box. Opponent exiles our Masked Vandal in return. In which case, we will go to disguise using Nimble Shield of the Seagate. Or Shield of Seagate, because I guess Seagate's a place. a place where blue mana gets transformed. Alright, so we'll need to use our Masked Vandal to exile Heliod, most likely. But we need a creature in the graveyard to do that. Bears of Littjara, any white source. Alright. Go, go Bears! That's the way we like it. Play this on the white for the Archpriest, and hit you for 3 in the air. Also, if we hit another creature, we're likely to be able to disable the Alseid of Life's Bounty. This stack's gonna hurt. So the opponent's stacking with everything, which means we get to block the Skyclave Apparition with our bear. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Don't think there's anything we can do about that. Can block Heliod, but that's just awful. Putting the +1/+1 counter on the apparition, dealing more damage. It's back to us, as we draw a squad commander, which could not have had a more perfect timing, as it will complete our party, get all the triggers, all the fun. Then we get to attack. We will disable the Alseid of Life's Bounty. We will give flying to the Archpriest. So the Alseid of Life's Bounty is disabled. Although we could have disabled Heliod. Let's go for this. Tons of power. Tons of flyers. Take 15. And I'll pass the turn back. Luminarch Aspirant. And with the Masked Vandal, we get to exile either the Alseid of Life's Bounty or Heliod. And with the Bears of Littjara, we'll get to blow up a creature. White doesn't really have pump spells or things of the sort, but I'm still going to block Heliod, just in case. Opponent gives lifelink to the Skyclave Apparition, and that shall be game. You gain life, you put a +1/+1 counter. It's all good, but your board is going down, and you don't have mana left. So you get to blow up the Luminarch Aspirant, exile the Alseid of Life's Bounty, and attack with everything. Goodbye, Luminarch Aspirant, as my Bears of Littjara decide to blow you away. Well, actually I didn't have a creature in the graveyard. Doesn't matter. Too much of an attack force. The party of the Bears of Littjara strikes again, defeating mono white. We are playing Party Bears of Littjara on MTG Arena Standard against Wagon Wheels Atarka. That must pull a wagon wheel pretty fast. Alright, we have all the colors we want. We're going to be a little slowed down because the Fabled Passage is our white source. And we're going to keep it anyways. We'll fetch plains and then we'll go Archpriest, Sentinel. And it all goes well from there. What's our opponent playing? Swamp could go for Yorion, Mono Black, the Mirror Control. Probably Sultai at this point. So you want our white mana. Then we'll play this on green. And now we have all our colors. So let's go with Usher the Fallen, because we don't know what our opponent's playing yet, as well as the Jaspera Sentinel. Have a rogue, a warrior. All we need is a wizard and cleric. We have a cleric in hand. We have the Archpriest. Although next turn it would be tempting to just play the squad commander. Opponent's playing Abzan. Abzan combo. Search for glory. Searching for a snow-covered swamp. Okay. Well, we'll go Archpriest, Bears, go. This we want, doesn't matter. Let's have the Archpriest for it. We get a bear, we have a full party, we'll get +1/+1, and flying to Usher the Fallen, and swing at our opponent's face. The opponent needs a board wipe here. Because otherwise we get a squad commander. Finding the Old Gods. Ooh, wrong choice. Well, let's take white. Doesn't really matter what we tap, as long as it's not our powerful creatures, squad commander, with a full party. Let's get it on! Let's get this party started! Thanks to our shape-shifting bear here. Doesn't really look like a bear. I guess it didn't get a chance to transform into a bear as Chapter 2 of the Bears of Littjara. Opponent Shadow's Verdict. We keep a squad commander and only a squad commander. We'll fetch another white source. I do not like Shadow's Verdict. Actually, I love playing it. It's really awesome when you're on the other side of the battlefield. But when we're on this side, not so fun. Hit you with the squad commander. Down to 7. Fast to turn back. We have Linvala Protectionist. As the opponent is playing now 4-color, no Yorion. Kind of a Yorion deck. Tybalt, Cosmic Imposter, enters the fray.
Bring Kaldheim to its knees.
Tybalt goes after our squad commander. We will hexproof that. And so Tybalt misses. Now comes the interesting question. Do we go and kill the Tybalt? I think the answer is yes. As our opponent still needs a board wipe to get rid of our field, and if our opponent board wipes, we cannot have a Tybalt survive. And the opponent resigns. Too much pressure from our party of bears on MTG Arena Standard. We are playing Bears of Littjara Party on MTG Arena Standard. Our opponent, Nemesis. Is our Nemesis going to join the party? Or are they going to get trampled by, well, the crazy people dancing, having fun, and taking down their life points as we'll mulligan this? Because we don't have a green source, which is really awkward. We have all our colors. What to do? I say we go for the all-in aggro plan. Archpriest. Actually, we're on the draw. Never mind the all-in aggro plan. Let's just send Archpriest back. We're on the draw, right? Archpriest can be so good, though. I guess we're going Archpriest, Usher of the Fallen, and then hold up a concerted defense, as the opponent is playing mono something aggro. Don't know whether it's red or white yet. Probably red. White has more 1-drops. Is that true? They might have the same amount. Well, apparently our opponent is playing Mono Faceless Haven. And we are playing multicolors, so we'll hit you with the Archpriest of Iona. Now presenting 4 power on the battlefield. Opponent casting a Seasoned Hollowblade. And we get a Linvala. Now presenting a flying threat to our opponent, but letting the shields down. They do want to get the damage in, but it's not worth it. Don't want to sacrifice a party member if we don't have to. 2 points of damage for a card is not worth it. Opponent casts the Maul of the Skyclave. Transforms Seasoned Hollowblade into a devastating threat. Also, it's one of the only things our concerted defense can counter. I do really like the fact that our opponent's stacking us, because it's 5 power and we have 8 on the backswing. Squad commander's pretty good. Pretty good here. We're going to fetch a white source, I think. Or blue. Can never have too much blue. Squad commander does not enable the full party, it just puts in a bunch of tokens. So I guess we attack first. Move to combat. Hit you with a bunch of creatures. Put in the squad commander with 3 tokens. That should put you on the back foot, opponent. White Weenies is getting weenied out. Although the double Faceless Haven start didn't help. Well, now the opponent's drawing all the snow-covered plains. Come on, activate a Faceless Haven and swing at us for 9. We will gladly take it. Sword of Realm. Kinda wish I could counter that. But alas, I cannot. Seasoned Hollowblade. Getting equipped. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have lethal power. And the opponent does not have lifelink. Does have vigilance though. That's why the opponent's attacking. But it matters not. There is nothing you can do as we hit a rogue. Which is even more fantastic. We'll complete the party. Have counter magic to block everything, and that Seasoned Hellblade cannot attack, cannot block. The Archpriest has flying. And everything is awesome for us, Mother opponent. Things are quite grim on the opponent, who's been playing Boggled Seasoned Hollowblade. Enough about this game, let's move on to the next one. We're playing the party of the Bears of Littjara on MTG Arena Standard against Fabled. That's a decent opening hand. Usher the Fallen, Bears of Littjara, Linvala, have 3 party members. Opponent's playing either Ragdoll's Sacrifice, Mono Black, or Clerics. We will play Usher the Fallen to open up the battlefield. Clerics it is. I'll take the damage. Not much we can do here. So I'll just play the Forest casually. Well, actually, we get to attack and boost and offer a trade. Yeah, I figured you'd want to keep your Aspirant. That Archfiend's Vessel is going to be a problem. Squad Commander. That's nice. Let's open up the Bears. apply some level of pressure. Or some resemblance of pressure. Problem is the Archfiend is going to outgrow our bear. Gets a 4-4, gets a 4-4. Aura, the Skycleave Hierophant. And we don't want to kill that Archfiend's Vessel anyways. We're mostly banking on Squad Commander to save our bacon here. Which it very well could. No blocks, definitely. You're now a 4-4. It's very tempting to run out the Squad Commander immediately. Let's fetch a green source. For no real reason. Let's Squad Commander, and then next turn we get Luminarch Linvala. We do lose out on one token, but we'll get the indestructible trigger with a +1/+0 one turn before. Although maybe I should have played Luminarch Aspirant, put a +1/+1 counter on the shapeshifter, which could then have killed Aura. In retrospect, I did very well playing that Squad Commander. That's when the opponent Heartless acts as Squad Commander, and it didn't really matter. Swinging with the 4-4. Just the one. That's fine. You can swing. Nimble Trapfinder. Beat down that Luminarch! Alright. Let's go white. Then we can go Luminarch Aspirant, Linvala. Then we have Wizard, Cleric, Warrior. We only had warriors on the battlefield. I am disappointed. Opponent's planning on killing Linvala with a Heartless Act, specifically, because they're not waiting for Luminarch Aspirant token. Dire Tactics. Do I want the Aspirant or do I want Linvala? I think the Aspirant's more important. Problem is we've lost the capability of having a full party. And opponent's creatures are getting big. Bigger and bigger. Let's let that one go through again. After all, the amount of people that we have in our party defines just how fun the party is, right? And the party is about to get a lot of fun. Except that our opponent still has more removal. You're supposed to be playing Clerics, opponent, not removal.deck. And we'll kill the Luminarch Aspirant. Or maybe the opponent is considering conceding. Okay, going after the Squad Commander. Alright, decisions. So I'll put the +1/+1 counter on the shapeshifter, which will become pretty big next turn. We need to ensure we have at least 2 blockers. We do have a full party, so we have Nimble Trapfinder, and we can draw cards. Although there's no point in drawing cards right now, because we don't have the mana to play them. So we'll just pass the turn back. We leave our shields down too much to attack. Angel of Destiny. At the beginning of your end step. So if the opponent hits us with the Archfiend's Vessel, we lose the game. If the opponent deals damage with the Archfiend Vessel, we lose the game. I don't understand. Why did you not attack? We'll go to Trapfinder. Put a +1/+1 counter on our Nimble Trapfinder. And that's a double striking 3/7. Do we have a card in our deck that can save us from this? I don't think so. I think we were dead on board last turn. Well, attack with the Trapfinder for sure, because that thing is unblockable. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player gains that much life. Each player gains that much life. So we need to pummel our opponent right now. 5/5 can block, so if we attack like this... No, opponent has too many good blockers. There's no other good attack. So I'll just draw 2. Bears and Fabled Passage. Let's see how long our opponent intends on keeping us alive. So I'll play another Bears of Littjara. And I'll pass the turn back. And now the opponent stopped pulling the punches. He will do the positive blocks. And we will lose to the Angel of Destiny. I wish I could sacrifice my token. Okay, we lose to combat. That also works. So the combat damage happens before the trigger, which means the opponent doesn't get... Well, we don't get to win the life from the Angel of Destiny. And we lose the game. You're going to lose the game in about 5 different ways. But we're this close to winning. It really helps that I'm only speaking in front of microphones, so you don't really know whether this was small or big. And I'll keep a secret forever!
I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe. It won't cost you any mana, and it greatly helps to support this channel and keep the awesome videos coming. Until next time, may the fun be with you.